It's my town, not your
No,
town.
It's my town. No, it's my town.
It's
No,
my
it's my
town.
town.
Well, it's actually Corey's
It actually is
town.
my town. Do you love to travel?
Do you love road trips?
Do you love finding hidden treasures in towns all over the USA? Hi, I'm Joshua.
And I'm Craig. Welcome to Treasures of Our Town. It's a podcast that explores unique and charming towns scattered throughout the United States.
Guided by our love for location-based games like geocaching. Join us as we venture to some of the country's most intriguing destinations, uncovering hidden gems and local secrets along the way.
On today's episode, Josh, my town, not your town.
No, it's my town. No, it's my town.
It's
my town.
Well, it's actually Corey's.
It actually is my town.
It is actually your town. Well, one part is your town. Anyway, we're getting into this argument already. What's going on, mate?
Yes. We're excited to talk to Corey Hepola. And he has an amazing web series that is just perfect for our episode. I think our listeners will really enjoy listening to him and hearing about his really cool professional docuseries called My Town. I think you're going to be really impressed with it.
And when we say professional, it is professional, Josh. Like it's not like the average YouTube sort of stuff. This is television style profession.
We're talking like about Dirty Jobs quality.
Yes.
That's what we're talking about.
Exactly. That's exactly what we're talking about. But highlighting small rural towns, which is perfect for us, Josh, including your small rural town where you came from these your places, hometown.
These treasure places where geocaches are everywhere. Actually, in my small town, it was so interesting. I follow my small town's social media account, and one day all of a sudden came up on Reels, "Hey, have you ever tried geocaching? It's in our town of Fairmont." I was like, "What?"
In actual fact, Josh, he featured your actual town yesterday on
I know
on the web series too.
I know.
That's really cool. That's really cool. The actual small town, and I've been there as well. Yes, I had a burger at that burger place. I don't know what was the burger's place. Nice.
The Channel Inn. It was called the Channel Inn.
The Channel Inn.
And we went to the Blazer.
The Blazer, which is a dive bar, like a divey dive bar, like a good dive bar.
That's where I really grew up. Inside that bar, playing pinball.
And jumping amongst the actual chairs between the windows areas too. That's what you told me.
Exactly.
Really cool. Really cool. But Josh, before we go on, before we start, we've got to tell everyone what's going on in our personal lives with our delays and upgrades.
Cue the sound.
There you go.
There it was. Craig, let's go to the positive. What has been your upgrades?
Well, my upgrades was last week while I was out and about in the Nevada desert. I completed my 20,000th geocache milestone.
Wow, 20,000. You've doubled 20, me. You've doubled me. Wow.
Well, you double me on like social media stuff, so I can at least double you in real
and videos. Triple you maybe in videos. Full size YouTube videos.
And what I did, Josh, if you're a geocacher out there, and you're not sure of this, and there's a possibility, but you can actually change. You don't have to look and make sure you get the actual milestone itself, because you can change within I think it's 100 different types. The milestone on the actual website, the geocaching website, you can change which one you want to make your milestone.
So which one did you make your milestone? Yeah,
the 25 locationless cache. You know, the special locationless one, the 25 for the 25 years?
Yes.
Yeah, so I made that one because there was a road sign saying 25 on the road sign. That was the speed limit. So I went, you know what, this one's going to be done. So there we go.
That's really easy. I would have found something more creative.
Well, it was creative because it was in the middle of this power trail on the ET highway in the desert, inside the Nevada desert on a dirt road. So that's the reason why it was 25.
Yeah, so it's memorable. It's memorable, even though it was just a random sign. Well, that's great. That's great. Mine
what about you, sir?
Is not as exciting, but I'm looking at it right now. I'm really proud of it. I have a little Christmas tree here. It's an aluminum. It's an aluminum Christmas tree, and
aluminium for the rest of the world.
Yeah. Underneath the Christmas tree is the popcorn bucket that I've talked about before of the DeLorean. And so I decided to take this Christmas tree, maybe I'll put a picture of it on our social media.
Yeah.
And I made the Christmas tree a Back to the Future Christmas tree. So there's
you got all the Back to the Future there?
Yeah, Marty's on there, Doc's on there, Biff. I have a Back to the Future advent calendar that has little Back to the Future things, and I've been hanging them on the tree every day. So it's the small joys in life. not a whole lot going on. Yeah.
With all the snow that's happening around Minnesota at the moment as well, it's hard to do anything else apart from being indoors. So
but I did get out this weekend, and I did film a video for the Geo Challenge of the month. And so that was a highlight too.
We all know, Josh, you filmed one video every single week for the last 14 years.
I should tell Corey that. Do you think he'll be impressed?
I think he will be impressed, to be honest with you. I think you should tell him that too. Meanwhile, Josh, what's been your delay before we get to chat to Corey?
Oh, I don't want to say the cold, but yeah, it's cold. And I just can't get out. I feel sad. I feel most sad for my little dog, Goliath.
Oh, yeah.
I see him. He's so sad. He wants to be outside, but then the moment he gets out there, he doesn't want to be outside anymore. He's like, nope,
give it back in. Nope, I'm done.
So I'm sad for him. And I've been thinking, since the kids have left, he's home alone too often. And I think I'm going to look into doggy daycare for him, because I come home and he is hyped. I mean, he's just like, he's been waiting all day
bouncing
long.
Off the walls.
And I've heard people that do doggy daycare, like that really wears their dog out. And then they come home, they just, they're done for the day.
Dogs
so
sleep.
I want that for a Goliath. So there's my delay, the sadness of my dog.
You don't work for Google, so you can't take your dog to work.
I know. Well, I could take my dog to work, but
you could. He'd do well at your work.
He'd be too annoying. He'd annoy everybody.
This is true.
What is your delay?
Mate, my delay. Well, guess what? It's still about the chicken coop. Yes.
Wow.
I'm still
3 episodes in a row.
I know. I'm almost there. I've got the roof on the run to do, and I am done. I took a photo yesterday of it as well, and I'm gonna put that photo in patrons as well for the patrons. I'll do a photo for the patrons in regards to that, Josh. So yes, it's almost there, almost done, almost finished. The girls are in the actual chicken coop, but I can't let them out onto the run yet until I put the roof on. So.
Okay. I just thought of another upgrade. It happened last night.
What was your upgrade last night?
I got to, my favorite TV show. My favorite TV show is Survivor. You love Survivor too. And so last night I got to interview Solomon Yee, Saul from season 47 on the Geocache Talk Podcast of Hope. They do a fundraiser every year, and I always provide some sort of person I was like trying to find somebody I want to interview, because that show is not about geocaching. So I'm like, who do I want to talk to? So that I use that as an excuse to like find somebody. And charity is a very good motivator to get people to come on your show. So he was great, and it was so fun.
Yeah.
And get this, Craig, get this. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I taught him about geocaching. He didn't know about it.
Yeah.
And he's really pumped about it. And he said I could go out there and take him geocaching. And then he said maybe he would bring other people from his season to go geocaching. Wow. So like a bunch of them that was on that season to go geocache and do a video. Would that not be awesome?
That would be awesome. And then you might actually get some views, Josh. Just
right. So I guess, that's my new upgrade.
If you think about it too, though, we're talking about Survivor here. What do they have in Survivor a lot is those idols. How do you find an idol? They're geocaches. They're actual geocaches. The idols are hidden like a geocache. Josh, if ever you went on Survivor, you'd be the idol hunter extraordinaire. That's what I'd say.
But according to him, you have to be stealthy, because they don't. If you walk out in the woods by yourself, they're like, "What is he doing? Oh, he's playing. He's playing too hard. Vote him out."
And see, the other thing, Josh, as well, I think you'd be really good at is if you found these two, you don't write your name and put them back. You keep them, so therefore you don't need a pen.
Perfect. That's perfect for me. No pen needed. It's like I'm at tribal council and Jeff's like, hey, I would like to play this idol, and then he goes, well, you have to have a pen to play it. And I'm like, no.
That'd be funny.
Well, Craig, we need to get to our guests, because I'm very excited to welcome to our show Corey Hepola. Corey, welcome to our show. Welcome to Treasures of Our Town.
Josh, Craig, thanks for having me, guys.
Yes, we are so excited to talk to you because you are a small town. I don't know what to call it, like a small town aficionado. Like
Yes.
you are curious about the small towns. And in our hobby of geocaching, we go to a lot of small towns.
Mm-hmm.
So we really want to talk to you. You get into these small towns and you expose why they're great and the stories behind them. And I'm really curious about this web series that you've done that I believe you're in the second season. Before we get to that, Corey, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you? What have you done? Tell us all about yourself.
I think my passion for small towns is because I'm from one, and it's who I am. It's in my DNA. And no matter how far away I've moved away at times, whenever I'm asked the question like, "Oh, where are you from?" It's Perham, Minnesota. It's not just Minnesota. It's or even Minneapolis, where I've lived now for 10 years, but it's Perham, Minnesota. And so for those who don't know, I mean, Perham's a small town. It's in western Minnesota, about an hour east of Fargo. And so it's a town of about 3,000 people. And that's what I knew. And I'm proud to be from a small town. So that's kind of where it all started. Yeah.
Did you hear that, Craig?
I know.
He's proud of his town. That's a damn rare thing these days.
And Corey, you know, because I think you've listened to one of or two of our episodes before, and that is, Josh needs to get that in every single early again, Josh, this episode.
Well, it was just hanging fruit. I couldn't not pick that.
It was kind of a softball. I mean, I laid it there for him.
Totally. So you grew up in Perham, Minnesota. And so when you left, you came to the Twin Cities, and where did you go with your life?
Yeah, so very interesting because, I mean, I legitimately told my parents at 8 years old exactly what I was going to do with my life. I never had another plan. I told my parents at 8 that I was going to be a TV anchor in Minneapolis, and I was going to work at WCCO. I was going to work with Mark Rosen and Don Shelby and all these iconic names here in Minnesota, and I never had a backup plan. I never had, so I was laser focused. I have journal entries all through high school on exactly where I was going to go, and went to college chasing that dream, and ended up getting into broadcast journalism there at Concordia in Fargo-Moorhead. And, went to school for it and ended up getting an internship while in college. They hired me back and then promoted me. And so I was working in Fargo-Moorhead in the Fargo TV market while I was in college. And so then from there, I mean, I went to Washington, D.C. I went to Helena, Montana, Elmira, New York, Rochester, New York, Austin, Texas, Houston, Texas. And then finally made it back home to Minnesota in 2015, so 10 years ago. And got the job as a TV anchor at the NBC station here in Minneapolis at KARE 11, iconic TV station. Yes. And my story, it was such a dream come true, and I thought I would do that for the rest of my life. But as we'll probably get into, sometimes your perspectives change.
Yeah. Well, that's very interesting, and I have watched a couple of your episodes too on YouTube, Corey. And one of the things you say is in regards to that change you had, whereby you've gone, I've had this time of my life now, and I think you even said you turned 40 something, and you then and you kind of said to yourself, okay, there's something more in my life now, and what do I want it to be? When did that roughly occur, and how did that occur for you?
Oh, I know the exact moment. So it was 2017, and I'll tell you, like, I saw somebody who was a pillar of the community, and this person was an executive, and he was a faith-driven person. He was considered widely like just an amazing person to work for. He was a father, and he was a community advocate. And the way that he would speak about Minneapolis, St. Paul, but also the state and being that advocate. And I really admired this person. And I reached out to him blindly and just said, hey, you don't know me, but I would love to pick your brain on leadership, because I felt myself sort of shifting inside that this shift. And I'm very spiritual. And I felt this shift of like, okay, you've really, you've had this goal your entire life. You've set this goal. You've kind of been telling your life what you want to do with it. And now it's time to utilize the platform, but also the skills that you've developed for a different way, for a more purposeful way. And that's really where it started. So I reached out to this person and I sent them, I spilled my guts. Like I just was like, and it's got this on my heart. It was on my heart to reach out to you. And I feel like I meant to do something else, but I don't know what. And that was kind of scary, right? I mean, all I ever wanted to do was what I was doing. And I hit send. I guessed at his email. I hit send. And then I waited and it was like, what did you just do? You are an idiot. Why would you do that? But my life changed 30 minutes later when he responded and said, it's a very kind note. I would happily have a meeting with you. How about we have breakfast? And this person really changed sort of my perspective on life. And I'll kind of tighten the story up just for, but the one thing from the first meeting we had is, and he's become a mentor, but I had asked him, I said, well, were you like me? Did you write down on your wall what you want to accomplish? Did you want to be CEO? Did you want to do this and want to do that? And he told me something that really shifted my perspective and helped me kind of think differently. He said, he kind of laughed and he said, no. And he goes, and oftentimes I even took lateral moves across, along my path where other people, my peers, were passing me up. But he said, what I recognized was I had curiosity. I maintained this curiosity. And as I took lateral moves and whatnot, I recognized that I was being prepared to help serve because I understood people and I understood different parts of the business. And and it was like, oh, wow. So that kind of shifted my perspective. And he goes, he basically said, stop telling your life what you're going to do and just start to listen. See where the Lord's calling you, see where it all might go. And that really shifted it for me. I just started to open up to more possibilities and opportunities.
I think that happens a lot, Corey, as well, for a lot of people, to be honest with you, especially when you get to sort of that age group where 40, 45, 50, for instance, as well, and you do get sick of the big smoke, so to speak, and the city life, and you go, that city life is probably more for younger ones. You realize the relaxation that there is in the smaller towns and the lesser communities whereby you can actually serve the community better and if it feel better about yourself than anything else. And I do really enjoy you utilizing your actual talents that you've gained over the last few years and doing this actual web series as well. I think it's great. But apart from that, though, we're talking about the series called My Town. Tell us a little bit more about the My Town series itself.
Yeah, so where it all spawned, and I appreciate the kind words, and I think where it all spawned was I kind of opened myself up to wanting to make more of an impact with sort of the work that I was doing, and it didn't happen overnight, and there were some missteps, and there were some things where I thought maybe I was starting down this path or whatnot, but the mission really came into focus when working in a large city, and especially working in a newsroom. The way that, and this always bothered me, but it became more apparent. A couple things. One, and Josh, you being from a small town in Fairmont, you would get this too. Is oftentimes people I would tell them proudly, Craig, that I'm from a small town.
Yeah,
and people would look at me like, oh wow, good for you, you made it out of there.
Yeah.
And but for me, I was like, well, my town it's a thriving town. I know a lot of talented people who choose to live there, and they could live anywhere in the country. They could be down here in the Twin Cities. They could go to Australia. They could go to London. But they choose Perham, Minnesota, and including all of my family members. So I thought that was odd, but it also coincides with sort of the national stereotypes of what it's like to live and work and play in a small town. And you look at all of these, the rural narrative in general, it's always been negative. It's always negative. Death, destruction, nothing, your dreams go to die there. All small towns are dying, but it's simply not the truth. One, the data supports since the 1970s, rural counties have grown by 11%. So it's never stopped growing. But where did these misconceptions start? And so both of those things came to a head for me. And I thought, well, why don't we start telling stories, and not in a divisive way. I think everything today is usually us versus them. We never want to talk ill about living an urban lifestyle. That's great. A lot of talented people choose that too. But this was a way to say, hey, you know what? Maybe this is out here for you. Or maybe you had an idea of what it's like to live in a small town, and more than likely it's not accurate. So why don't we tell the stories of talented people who choose to live in these small towns, and what makes small town living great? It happens to coincide now too with after the pandemic, where millennials and Gen Zers are choosing their top priority, which is quality of life. And who offers that better than a small town?
Yeah, that's fascinating, because I visited my hometown of Fairmont like a month ago, and I went to a local brewery that opened up. I was like, oh my gosh, they opened a brewery in my town? And I walked in there and I couldn't believe the amount of young people that were there. And it just kind of shattered my brain a little bit. And I lived in that town because I just felt like, oh gosh, everybody leaves this town, and there's just like a lot of older folks. And Corey, I don't want to get political on the show. We never really do, but I think you made a very interesting point. In a world currently right now that seems to be very polarizing, I think it's more important now than ever to be able to highlight the rural life. It doesn't have as big of a megaphone to show the good people that are there doing good things that are, again, like you said, very, very talented. So I give you kudos for that. I think that's really, really neat. So going back, so you had this idea 2017. Tell us like the process of getting My Town started.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Like, it was not fully clear in 2017. It was just that I had to shift my mindset. I had to stop saying like, okay, well, this is the path I'm on, and it's never going to shift, and this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. I had to kind of shift that mindset. So for me, it became more of a learning how to discern a little bit better, stop telling my life what I'm going to do with it, start to listen. And I'll tell you, it took a couple of years of really sort of trying to figure things out, wondering what that would look like, what was my actual purpose and mission. And then I got a call in 2019 out of the blue from somebody I didn't know from my hometown in the county of Otter Tail County, Minnesota. His name's Eric Osberg. He's the rural rebound coordinator for the county. And he called me in 2019 and he said, you don't know who I am, but we have this problem. Nobody looks at us as a place to live, work, and play. And I give him and I give the forward-thinking people in Otter Tail County a ton of credit, because they said the popular idea would be to do tourism videos. And he said, I don't want to do those. Everybody does those. And we will pay for them and we will watch them and no one else will. We need to, he was like, can we tell like a unique story or tell an authentic story, or can we do something different to help highlight, the people in the county? And so that's what really inspired me. But I'll share that I would not have been in a place to field that call with a clear mindset of knowing, oh, wait, this is purposeful. This is something that is, real to me and is. So I wouldn't have been there had I not had that 2-year process of really sort of starting to reflect a little bit more honestly on myself. And so he called and it spoke to me. I was like, this is what I'm meant to do. Like, okay, so went to him with an idea of, well, I'm going through this. I'm turning 40, wife, 3 young kids. And at 18, I wanted to leave, just like Josh. I wanted to leave my small town. But now I'm starting to look back and go, why was I in such a hurry to leave? I mean, the county has all of these wonderful things, including more than 1,000 lakes. They've got great jobs. My family chooses to be there. My sister's a teacher at the school we went to. So why was I in such a hurry to leave? And not that there's anything wrong with that, but to view the county through that lens of now going back and meeting with people. Well, you never left, or you moved away and you're a boomerang and now you moved back. So we started that and we created a documentary series on a smaller scale called Rural by Choice. Okay. And we did 12 shorts episodes on the county with different people. And that's where it started. And then the company that I work for now happened to see that, which I know it's a little complicated. So sorry, I'll try to clear it up. But the company I work for now saw those and said, hey, we're an economic development company. We help communities, small rural communities across the country. Is this a storytelling model we could build out and help more communities across the country do that? And so that's 3 years ago. That call came in, and so we've been on that path ever since with My Town.
Nice. So My Town is funded by this group that sought you out. Is that how it's?
Sort of. It's sort of funded by that. Yeah, it's we team up. We actually partner with the communities.
Oh, neat. Okay.
To help them tell their stories. Yeah,
perfect.
I love that.
See, because like you said, Corey, a lot of tourism videos are out there as well, but in actual fact, I do feel a lot of urban areas and rural areas aren't actually really about tourism. They don't want the tourist dollar. They want people to come back and be a part of their community long term. And so I really like and enjoy the fact that there's that one person who reached out to you and said, look, I've got a bigger picture in mind here than just another tourist video. Because, Josh and I, we've been to plenty of small towns. Me personally, I've done plenty of tourist videos for a lot of different towns. And yeah, they look good. Yeah, they're catchy. Yeah, they're edgy. TikTok love them and social media loves them. But does it really get the dollar into that small town? I'm not sure, but that idea really does resonate with me as well. I really like that.
I think I appreciate that, and I think you're right, and I think tourism can be viewed as, well, you got to get people to the area to for if people are going to move there, they're going to look at it first, right? They're going to experience it first, more than likely. But the way that we kind of film the episodes, so and I appreciate you guys watching them. But if somebody goes and checks out an episode, what we try to do is we have 3 different storylines, and we try to get 3 different perspectives of how these people choose this particular community or this particular region. So we try to balance those stories and show 3 different perspectives. So whether that's of age, of cultural background, of job, but also of how you ended up there. Some people are those rural by choicers. They never left their small town. They choose that community. They love it. Some are the boomerangs, the people who grew up there. They moved away. They went to college. They started their life and they went, you know what? I want to raise my family here. Some are the people who grew up in a city and they said, you know what? I want this quality of life. And so they chose the small town. So we try to balance all of those 3 perspectives within the context of an episode. And then just the way we film them. These communities are stunning. They're beautiful. And so we really try to show that not only that beauty, but our love for these communities as well.
Yeah, your latest episode with South Dakota and Chamberlain, that beautiful statue right off the interstate. We've talked about that statue on one of our previous episodes. But yeah, what a eye-catching way to start that episode. It's so cool. So Corey, you go through telling the stories of the people in these communities. How do you find the people? Like, do you just go to the town and say, who's interesting?
Yeah.
How do you find the people?
It's such a good question. Our process really starts a year in advance. So the Fairmont episode, Josh, your hometown, we started working with them. I first heard from them, I think it was it February 2024?
Okay.
And so we started going back and forth at that point. We selected them officially as a season 2 community in October 2024. And then we got to work. And so what we do is we partner they create a My Town leadership team. So they have 2, 3, 4 different people from each community. And then I have, a process where we start to brainstorm themes, people, places, all of these different things that make this particular community unique. And what I think is distinct about our episodes is, so then they're tasked with sort of coming up with these ideas, but then we do all the research as well. And then we're able to provide an outside perspective and say, well, is this a deal? Is that a deal? What about this? What about that? So we start to form different, particular unique themes and storylines. And then we start conceptualizing, well, who are the people that best represent the community? And what we want to accomplish with this story. So we really do a lot of production on the front end, and then build out the film schedule from there, where it's like, okay, 4 hours, we're going to do this, 4 hours, we're going to do that, 4 hours, we're going to do that. Now, we don't know what's going to happen or what people are going to say or anything like that. But it's a little bit more produced than it probably appears. And that's by design, because I just don't think, if we were to go to a town for 3 days and start filming, who knows what, if anything, we'd get. But we want to make sure that we tell a really good, authentic story, and that the audience is able to understand it.
At the same time, Corey, you don't want to go there with all your camera gear, all your gear, and scare people off. They look and go, "Oh no, it's Hollywood's coming to town." You know what I mean? So, because I know what sort of gear, manpower, that sort of thing it takes to do your sort of high end production. At the same time, you said it is well produced, but it's not story written in terms of you don't tell people what to say. There's no actual scripting of the story too, which is what I really like. That's why you get that authentic person itself. But has there ever been, though, speaking of people, has there ever been that one person who stands out in your mind, their story really does resonate with you in some way, or moved you, or anything like that at all? I'm putting you on the spot now.
Yeah. There's so many, and there's so many great stories from the road that, you guys too, right? You have so many great stories of the communities that you didn't expect to be, a particular way or whatever. There's so many. I would hate to, leave anyone out, but I will tell you, going to Watertown, South Dakota, really surprised me. We met with, her name's Joy Nelson, and she runs this Joy Ranch of South Dakota. She grew up in Watertown, never wanted to leave, always wanted to stay there. And she ended up, her parents couldn't believe it. She loved horses growing up. And they're like, I have no idea why she loves horses. She's not around horses. But she ended up staying in Watertown, having a successful real estate career, showing horses, winning a national championship. And she starts, she wants to build out a ranch for herself, right? She builds out a ranch. And then she does a lot of, she's very faith driven. And she's like, I was out here one Sunday night just watching the sunset over this she's got this beautiful land, this beautiful little bluff over a lake. And she's like, God said to me, you know what? This is not meant for you. You need to, bring people here and bring children here and bring adults here. And so she created Joy Ranch of South Dakota for kids for special needs. And also, business retreats and whatnot. And so she is helping now people all across the upper Midwest and really all across the U.S. And it's such a special story. And we got to spend a couple of nights at Joy Ranch. And I will tell you, I felt so at peace being there. Just because of Joy, and so that one really, I didn't know what to expect, and it really knocked me over. But there are also like fun stories too. The one you were just talking about in Chamberlain, with Mason Daly on the farm just north of Chamberlain, and we're it's an agricultural part of the region. He's a farmer, a family farm. And we're getting water from the Missouri. We're shooting it up to a pivot irrigation system, and these things need to be cleaned. The sprinkler heads are all clogged up, and we got to clean them. And how many times have you guys driven past those irrigators on the road and never thought anything of it? The only thing I've ever thought is like, are they got to be on wheels or something? Are they smushing crops? Like, I didn't know. And so to be able to he was such a good sport, because I'm such an idiot and I have no idea about any of this stuff. But the fun part is seeing how that one turned out, because Mason, I don't know that he was sure about us coming and filming, and he's never been on camera before. And he's just like, God, what are these guys doing? And it turned out so fun, because he was just, all right, well, now you got to do this. Now you got to do that. And so it's stuff like that. I love all of these scenes.
It sounds a little bit like the Dirty Jobs sort of style episode. I like it.
I was just going to say that we had one of the executive producers of Dirty Jobs on our shows, and he talked about all the little towns and all the amazing people he met that did these quote unquote blue collar jobs, which is really interesting people. So those are the people. Tell us, how many cities have you done? Like, how many episodes have you done?
We did, with Rural by Choice, we did 12 episodes, and those are shorts. But now with My Town, we've done 15 communities across 6 states in 2 seasons. We have been greenlit for a season 3. So
cool.
We are in the process of, we've had probably 75 applications. So we're in the process of kind of whittling that down to 5 to 7, I think is a good number. We'll probably end up doing.
Don't let me forget, because I have an idea for a community that I'd like to bring up, and Craig will smile and laugh because we love this little town. So I know this is maybe like picking your favorite child. I don't know, but what community surprised you? Maybe was your favorite? What community? I'm asking several questions. What community you went there and you're like, I don't know what the angle is, but then it surprised you because there was something really neat there?
Man, good question. I absolutely cannot pick a favorite, and I will tell you, and that's not to be like politically correct or whatnot.
No,
it's because I legitimately leave each town and I go, I get it, I get it. Like, and I call my wife and I go, hey, I could live here. We could live here. Like, I promise you, like, you got to come back. We all got to come back. So every single one I've fallen in love with, and I understand why people choose it. From a surprising standpoint, I don't know. I will say the Fairmont one surprised me some. In fact, what surprised me the most, I would say, is that one, I mean, growing up in Minnesota, I didn't know anything about Fairmont. And I felt like I know just about a little bit of something about every town in this state, but I didn't know anything about it, except that it's the bacon capital of the United States.
Yes.
But what I found interesting was that the region's proud of it, and that it is such a driver for the economy. And because of all of these hog farms and whatnot, you have a state-of-the-art school and teachers and coaches. And so their school is like high performing in everything from athletics to the arts to the educational system to, and then you've got these beautiful lakes, but then you've got all of these innovative companies that are now built around the ag sector. And so it's really a community that has really come together around that bacon moniker, and now the art scene too, with all the hogs going wild statues downtown.
Yes. There's Craig. There's pigs all over town that are painted different ways. And Craig actually visited my town. Remember, I drove you through the town and I show you where I grew up, and so Craig's been there. Yeah, and I am proud of my town too, and it's really unique because I think you go down southern Minnesota, anything southern, south of Mankato, it's a lot of farmland. It's practically Iowa down there. So to go into a city and then all of a sudden see this like chain of lakes, which you would typically kind of just see up in the north, the North Woods and cabin country, it is surprising to people. They're like, wow, I can't believe this is here. So here's another question. Is there any town or person that you encountered through your series where you just like really learned something, or you really took something away from them that really changed your outlook on life? Or
well, so one of the episodes, season 1, episode 1, is Watford City, North Dakota, and it's way out there. Like you're it's close to Canada, it's close to Montana. This is a town it's the fastest growing county in the United States. And this is one that it's a town where I learned a lot, because it's a town that is the product of an oil boom. And, but the thing that I learned is that, okay, and this is why we love to break down misconceptions. You hear about the oil boom, you hear about all the negatives, right? You hear, boy, they've had challenges there with crime, and not Watford specifically, but like the oil towns that there's these oil booms. You get these people from out of town that rush in there for money. Everyone thinks they're going to get rich. Everyone's there. You have not enough housing. You have, these bad actors and bad characters, and now and there's crime. Well, Watford City was a town of 1,400 forever. 1,400 people, like steady for like 100 years. And all of a sudden, they had this, they found a way to extract oil from the Bakken there. And so it boomed. Like, all of a sudden, big business boomed. It boomed to like 8,500 people within a couple of years, which is insane for a town that small. But what you think about is that town how do you handle that type of growth from a housing and education here? And this is not to say there weren't challenges. There were. But over the 15 years now, Watford City is like the example of, okay, this was unexpected, and yet now we've capitalized and we've made a warm, welcoming home with top of the line amenities. I mean, you look around, you guys, if you go and watch the episode, you wouldn't believe that a town this size has the school that they have and the healthcare system that they have. It's incredible. And so, but they've also created a welcoming culture where we met with a mom who, she wasn't from there, but her husband was, and she set up a Bach and Momco crew. So they welcome in all the families, and they welcome and get them plugged in and help them feel welcome, you know, whether it's through school or church or even daycare. So it's, and the school has set up an ambassador program so that seniors and juniors are welcoming new families, and even elementary kids who are struggling because they're trying to meet friends, or maybe they're struggling with homework. And so they have them plugged in, getting them feel like a good big buddy. I just thought, that's amazing. This could have gone wrong, and it has in a lot of small towns where you have this natural resource, and you're not unexpected, and you have this wild growth that you can't handle. And here's this town that is the model of success because of how they've capitalized, on this opportunity. But more importantly, like, just built a strong knit community that is welcoming to any and everybody.
Absolutely. So, Corey, as well, this show's a lot about geocaching. We do have a lot of geocaching related stuff on the show as well. You know about geocaching, do you? Have you found any, or you just know about it?
I haven't found any.
Yeah.
But I know about it, mostly through you guys. But
well, the thing I was thinking about is that you guys travel to these small towns, etc., as well, and this whole thing that we do with Treasures of Our Town is literally guided by our love of geocaching, location-based games, etc. But we do love our small towns. Is there any small town that you would think to yourself, man, this town needs a draw card like geocaching to actually visit the sort of areas, and which town would you think would be like a real world geocache, like an actual hidden gem amongst the good old US of A?
That's a good question. Okay. So this isn't exactly geocaching, but you look at St. Joseph, Minnesota. It's a small town in central Minnesota, which is an overlooked area in the state of Minnesota. You know, you've got the northeastern part of Minnesota where everyone talks about, and rightfully so, it's a beautiful part of the country, in Duluth and Grand Marais. Up north, you've got the Boundary Waters. You've got Minneapolis, St. Paul, but here in central Minnesota, it's kind of forgotten. It's kind of a hidden gem. It's kind of a hidden secret. Here in St. Joseph, you've got a couple of colleges, St. John's and St. Ben's. You've got the oldest Catholic church, so you've got some history there. You've got so many unique businesses downtown because of this college atmosphere. But here is sort of a hidden treasure that people wouldn't think about, is they've got 2 award-winning restaurants in this small town.
Wow.
No one associates award-winning restaurants in a small town.
No.
And so Crew Restaurant is a New Orleans style inspired restaurant. Mateo McBee, we highlight him in our My Town episode, but he's from Minneapolis, had a totally IT career, which is insane, but had an IT career. And at 37 was like, you know what? I food's been chasing me my whole life. I'm going to start up the restaurant of my dreams. And where's he going to do that? In a town he had never heard of, in St. Joseph, Minnesota. And so his Crew Restaurant, he was now a finalist for a James Beard Award this year.
Wow.
And it's inspired by his grandfather. His mom was born in New Orleans. His grandfather was from New Orleans. So they would go down there every year. He'd peel shrimp, all like that. He'd just spend his days peeling shrimp, and he wanted to honor his grandfather and his mother with this New Orleans style restaurant. So who would think that's a hidden treasure in a small town? And then right next door, his wife's bakery, Flour and Flour, is another hidden treasure that is a nationally renowned bakery. New York Times best bakery there in small town Minnesota. Wow. So who would have thought, right?
Yeah.
That's a great tip, Corey, because I visit St. John's University we have a speaking commitment there once a month, and I've never have heard of that place before. So now I need to go a little earlier and visit this restaurant. That is cool. Great tip. So I love that. I love that you talked about food.
Yeah.
Think about maybe a location you visited where you did something fun, like fun or unexpected, like, oh my gosh, that was so much fun. Or I can't believe this town has this thing. It was a lot of fun, like some sort of recreational fun thing.
Let's see. Okay. For some reason, and this is probably because we just started work on this, but one of our season 3 communities, and I know they're in, and we're excited. We've been already kind of working, but they have the U.S. Hot Air Balloon Championships.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
And so they have them next year. And so we're going to be planning to go around that time. And I'm going to be getting to get into a hot air balloon and get up in the air, which I've never done.
Yeah.
Can I guess what city that is, or can I not?
No, go ahead.
Is it Hudson in Wisconsin? I know they have the hot air affair every February. No, it's
not Wisconsin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there you go, Josh.
All right.
We'll have to find out later on. I like it.
That's a bucket list item for me. A hot air balloon. That's so cool. A little scary, but really cool.
Well, Josh, I've got you there because I've already done a hot air balloon. I did my hot air balloon going over the middle of Melbourne Central Business District first thing in the morning, watching the sunrise. Going back a few years ago now. So, yeah, beautiful. And it's so peaceful. I'll let you know now, hot air ballooning, it is so peaceful and relaxing. So, but especially like rural areas as well. I did mine in a big city, but if you do it over rural areas and you see those farmlands and you see, the smaller cities coming up, etc. I really like that. I'd like that a lot, actually. Corey, what sort of things as well do you think these small towns can offer, though, the big cities? Because big cities and small towns, they're very, very different. But what can, and we always see like what cities can do and offer, but what could rural areas offer the cities to do? Like reverse it, basically.
Yeah, I think when I talk to different rural communities and small towns, I said, I always say the best thing that you have going for you is that you have that quality of life. And people are after the outdoors, and whether that's fishing or hunting or camping, but allowing people to be one with nature and experience that. I would say to kind of one of the earlier points you brought up too, Craig, and I probably circled around it, didn't quite answer it. But our episodes, what we really try to do too is not just tourism, but also be, towns are meant to utilize them for workforce recruitment. That's the idea of it, because when people are choosing to live, work, and play, mostly live or buy a house, or they're weighing all these things. It's not just about the job. It's okay. Well, does it have a good school district? Does it, what's the quality of life? Does it have lakes? Does it have mountains? Does it have, so all of those things play an important factor in all of that too.
So your show, I love the tagline. It's like you kind of tell your story. You're looking for a possible place for your family to go in a small town. I didn't even ask you. Have you moved? Have you moved to a small town, or is it still up in the air, or are you doing this project and then when it's all done, you're like, I'm picking this town.
I'm picking
Well,
it's an experiment.
We're still not in a small town yet, because that would have to be the end of the show. So we got plenty more seasons to do,
True. Yes, that makes a lot of sense.
So here's your wife and kids all ready to go. They've got their bags packed and they're like, no, Dad hasn't picked the location yet, so we've got to wait and go from there.
Yeah.
But Corey, speaking of being a father and a husband as well, how has that actually reframed your mindset in terms of from city life to the rural life as well?
Changes everything, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I wake up every morning and I give thanks. I'm so blessed. My wife, who is, such a wonderful support, and then the kids too, like it's cliche to say, but like before you're a dad, everyone, will tell you, well, your life will change. And then It really does. All of a sudden, there's nothing more important than the health and safety and love of those kids. So all that's changed. But I think what changed for me is I understood, why my parents chose Pearl, Minnesota. I got it. Like, they wanted me to be in a safe place. They wanted me to have opportunities. And that's the other thing we haven't even touched on is, the schools, one of the things, and the schools in Minnesota are great, right? Like, we have great public schools here. And we are in the Twin Cities, which has, we're in a great school district. Like, some of those things you can kind of take for granted. So we're very blessed in that sense. But I look back at where I grew up in Perham, and that's, I guess, another misconception is that small town schools, they don't have this or they don't have that, or there's not as many opportunities. I would argue there's more opportunities.
Yeah.
And it's because you can be involved in so many different things.
Yes.
I was in 3 sports. I was in band. I was in National Honor Society. I was in student council. And so you're able to kind of be able to experience a lot of different things. And I truly believe that helps prepare you for life, whether it's those life skills or also just even sometimes working with different people, teammates with different people, struggles, failures, because sometimes, like, for instance, I was a better basketball player than I was a cross-country runner. And so, you deal with some of those things too.
Yeah, that is so true. My kids grew up in Apple Valley, and they had to be laser focused on what they were going to do, and that's what they did. And they had interest in other things, but the competition was too intense that they had to be good at one thing. So they didn't have that similar experience as doing all those different things.
In season 2, episode 2, we go to Rock Valley, Iowa. So that's not too far from Fairmont. Yeah. They had this catastrophic flood in 2024. The story is a beautiful story of this community coming together because they were really at a crossroads. It's, this town was devastated. 30% of people were out of their homes. So that's a significant amount, yet they've come back together. They've built back together stronger than ever. But I bring it up because in that episode, Andrew Van Ginkel of the Vikings is featured.
Oh, yeah.
And he's a Pro Bowl player, all-pro player, just phenomenal player for the Vikings. And he's from Rock Valley and played every sport, was involved in all these different things, played quarterback in high school, of course, and defense. And but I talked to him in the episode about, what was it like going to school here and whatnot. And he talks about being able to play different sports and being involved in different things and how that helped prepare him for his career. So I think personally there's something to that. I do get concerned about kids having to be, just focus in on such an early age on what they're going to do, on missing out on experiences, but also I just feel like when we get so siloed into what we are going to do, we kind of miss out on not only different opportunities, but we don't quite grow maybe as fully as we could.
That's such a good point. So currently people can see it, My Town, anywhere because it is on the internet. And I'll talk a little bit about where we can find it in a minute here. Do you have any other aspirations for this series or some series like it beyond the web? Do you envision it, or would you have a goal of it going to television, or have you had some thoughts around that?
Yeah, my goal is to get as many eyeballs on these communities as possible. They deserve it. I want people, I want these towns to be discovered. I want people, my goal is that this becomes diners, drive-ins, and dives where people have a map and they go, why haven't we been to this one yet?
I love that.
Yeah.
We should star that. We need to go check out that restaurant in that small town, or we need to go experience that in that small town. That's the goal. So that, and because that's the way I think we can, again, going back to our mission, to break down those popular misconceptions, help people see the true, authentic reality from our small towns across the country. So that's ultimately the goal. We want to continue to grow it. We are on YouTube, and we did that on purpose. We want everyone to be able to see these for free. We are in I have no idea where or how this will grow or where it'll go. I mean, I have different ideas and dreams, but I don't know. but yeah, I think if we could find the right streaming partner eventually, maybe it would make sense to team up with them. But it's got to be the right one, It's got to be the right one at the right time. But right now we just need to continue to tell awesome, amazing stories. And that's all we can control. So,
yeah. And you're doing such a great job. So I do have a suggestion of a community that you need to check out. Although you had 72 applications for season 3.
Yeah.
Wow. Word's gotten out there, Josh. Word has gotten out.
I just don't know if this little town, but it has such an interesting story to it that I would love that Craig and I actually kind of told in a creative way. It's the town of Gilby, North Dakota.
Oh, Gilby. Yeah, I saw your guys'.
Yes.
Is that really, Josh, is that really actually classed as a town? It's
243 people. It's a town.
It's a road and farmland
it's
around.
Very small. Very small. But Corey, there's a man there by the name of Chad, and he's a farmer. He lives on a farm. And he works. He does a lot of stuff. He's like the firefighter. He's the town carpenter. He does. He's kind of like Andy of Mayberry. He kind of does it all, right? Anyway, many years ago, he's a genius when it comes to building the most amazing, creative geocaches in the world. Now, I've been all over the world finding geocaches. Germany, I've been to Germany like 6 times. They have like amazing geocaches. We're talking like creative puzzle boxes. And again, as somebody who hasn't geocached before, it's hard for me to explain, but I'll just say it. They're the most amazing geocaches in the world. Corey, people come from all over the world to this little town of Gilby to experience these geocaches in the country, in these shelter belts, the line of trees in between these fields where he puts these geocaches, and people come from all over the world. It is called the Disneyland of geocaching. There's like 100 of them out there to this little town of Gilby. And this guy is the salt of the earth. And we Craig and I participated. Believe it or not, there's a geocaching international film festival. So we submitted a video about this. And so the thing about this guy, Chad, is I asked him, how do you get your ideas for these amazing geocaches? Because they're all different. And he actually dreams them. And he has a little pad next to his bed and he draws them up and then he builds them out in his workshop. So Greg and I had an idea. It was like, that's kind of like if you build it, they will come. So we made a geocaching version of Field of Dreams all about Chad's, but it's based on a true story.
Includes all the ghost geocaches coming out of the shelter belts as well.
Yes.
Of which Josh was one of them.
You got me thinking about, guys, that was such a great story. And you got me thinking about, in Ottertail County in Perham, there's a guy named Ken Nyberg who has been in his garage building these sculptures, out of scrap metal for years. Yeah. And he's an incredible artist. His daughter, Karen Nyberg, was an astronaut and was actually in space, was one of the first women, and actually at one point had the longest consecutive tour in space. But he's been creating these metal sculptures and just, kind of randomly placing them around town for like the longest time. Now I think they actually he's done so many unique ones that they have a sculpture park there, but it's not the same, but it kind of got me thinking about Ken.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you might have a series maybe of not just particularly one town, but people that have drawn people to their small town because of their unique talent. Yeah. Just an idea there for you. I just think he's such a great guy. It's such a cool thing.
I got it marked. Gilby, North Dakota.
Gilby, North Dakota.
And when you have a look, honestly, even if you look at Google Maps, it is literally one small street that lasts maybe 2 blocks, and that's it. And the rest is farmland.
There's a mural. There's a mural downtown, and it literally on the mural it says the Disneyland of geocaching on the mural.
Yeah, on the mural. Like the actual town's mural has geocaching on it too. So
that is so cool.
Awesome. It's very cool.
All right, Corey, thank you so much for spending some time with us. How can people find your series? How can they find you? Give us all your social media, everything they need to know to find you.
Well, first, thank you. I'm so thankful to be able to connect with you guys. If people, find us on YouTube, just My Town series on YouTube, you'll see it. And if you subscribe, like, comment, the natural stuff, just like they do here with your show, all of that would be helpful. And let us know what you think. Like when you see the episodes, drop us a line. Let us know what you think.
I cannot wait till the Fairmont episode drops, which is, I believe it's next weekend, correct?
Yeah. Well, depending on when this airs, because December 21.
True. Oh, that's true. A couple weeks.
So it actually drops before this goes to air, Josh.
Okay.
So there you go. It dropped yesterday, Josh. See,
so if you're listening,
you loved it, Josh. Josh loved it.
You loved it. Yeah. You thought it was the best one.
If you've ever been curious about where the geocaching vlogger grew up, well, it's going to be on the web.
I want to see it, Josh, because as Corey, as Josh said before, like I have visited his hometown with him as well, and he was proud of his town. We had those burgers at that burger place, and then he took me to the local dive bar where he grew up in the dive bar playing pinball. Anyway, so there you go, Corey. Thank you so much for joining us. As Josh said, and everyone out there as well. All the links for everything is quickly in the show notes as well. So, Josh, that's it for the episode. But I will say, Josh, I'm throwing back now to the beginning of this episode, and that is, people out there, they like the rural life, maybe because they can actually have some chickens, Josh.
Yes.
Corey, I'm currently building a chicken coop for that's Coupe de Ville with just 6 chickens in it. But anyway, we'll soon see. Josh, how can people support us if they want to support us as well? Let us know about the patrons.
If you've been enjoying our podcast, we really appreciate your support. By supporting us, you're helping us create even better content, keeping it free for everyone, no annoying commercials. And we have some golden nuggets there. And we're going to record one, Craig, after we do this. So
we are.
Please consider joining us at patreon.com/treasures of our town.
Otherwise, Josh, how can anyone else contact us as well?
Reach out to us at treasuresofourtownpodcast@gmail.com, or you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or our Buzzsprout website.
So that's it for our show today. Please subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcast app. And as always, Josh,
may your travels always lead you to the most unexpected and amazing places, rural places where the good people are around the world. See you next time, everybody. Thanks, Corey.
Thank you, Corey.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.